I love this time of year.
Illustrations by me.
So I have a lot of plans for this year. I have some things that I will be moving forward with. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I'm going to be using in the upcoming videos because I might not remember to talk about them, that I'm using them because I'm going to use them in several videos. And they're not going to be maybe in the very next video you see, but they're going to be coming up. I have some ideas, some things I want to do. And after I show you these products, then I'm going to do a painting. Don't worry. I will be doing a painting in the video. It'll be a long video probably because I'll be talking about a lot of stuff. But I'm going to talk about kind of where the channel is, the things I'd like to be doing in the future, some things that are coming for next year. 2025 is right here. It's here. It's almost here. It's crazy because the time of year is just flying by, but we're going to talk about some stuff. So I love this time of year. There are two main reasons that I really do, and that is every day. Now, first one, on my way home from work, either I'm catching the beginning or the end of a sunset every day, and I'm driving right towards it. It's beautiful. I absolutely love the colors, and because all the leaves are down, it's just the whole sky is lit up, and it's beautiful. Litten? Is that a word? Is litten a word? We're going to go with it. It's a litten up. It's lit up. I know. I'm saying litten. Don't worry about that. All I'm saying is it's a beautiful sky every single night I come home, so long as it's not completely, blown out with the clouds. Usually, though, the more the clouds, the better, because you see all the different colors underneath. The second reason is because I can go outside finally and get some plein air stuff done. Because first, the bugs are not trying to shank me in the yard, and second, the sun isn't trying to snipe me from the distance. I'm safe outside this time of year. Everything's wonderful. It gets a little cold, which brings me to the first thing I want to share with you. An electronics company contacted me and they said, well, is there anything here you think maybe your audience would like? We have these cup warmers. And I was like, well, you're way off base. This is an art channel. I've got nothing. I don't warm my water cups before I paint with it. It doesn't matter. That's ridiculous. Okay, I'm having to cut back into this video because something crazy happened with the audio. I think it was very staticky and that's what happened. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm going through their catalog and I found something. My eyes lit up. I said, oh, I want that. Not only do I want that to show you, I want it for me. It's going to make going outside this time of year, doing the painting, very nice. These little hand warmers. Now, I am late to every party I've ever been to. So other people may know about this. I have no idea. They're electronic hand warmers. I think that's a great idea. There's some caveats. I got to talk to you about that. But it's this little device. You turn it on. You hold the button. Turns it on. And then you want to select. You have to hold the button again. You select your mode. This is 1. I recommend only keeping it on 1 because it gets very hot. And you don't hold it in your hand. It's already getting warm. You don't hold it in your hand like this. You could on 1, but I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. What you want to do is put like a sock over this, or put a glove over it and hold it, or put your gloves on like those thin ones, like those knit gloves, and then hold it like this in your hand. The reason why is because it gets very hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Keep it in your pockets. Put your hands in sometimes just to get them a little warm. Take your hands out, finish painting, doing what you're doing, that's fine. Or you can just hold one in one hand, paint, and just keep yourself warm. It's nice. Put it in your pockets, keep your legs warm. They actually work very well. Now, the reason that I would not keep them past 1 is this. It comes with a little card right on the back. It tells you. It's not trying to hide it from you. It tells you that 1 is low temperature from 95 to 104 degrees. That's hot. 104 degrees is very hot. 2 is medium temperature, 104 to 118. At 111, your skin starts to feel pain. Human skin, the nerve endings, you feel pain at 111. 118, you're starting to burn already. So you do not want to hold this on 2 against your hand. Maybe in a glove, like on a glove. You have your glove on, you hold it. That might be the hottest you can stand it. High temperature is 118.4 to 131 degrees. That's second degree burns. That's what that is. You do not want to put this against your hand in number 3 and get second degree burns. It takes a while to heat up, a couple seconds. It lasts, what does it say? It lasts like 6 hours or 10 hours? How long does it last? 6 to 12 hours. That's ridiculous. I have never had these die out on me while I was outside. So, and I've used this. I've gone outside with them. They keep your hands warm. So there will be a link for these down below if you think you may benefit from them. We used to have those, you know, those little sacks that they used to, you rub them together and they get a little warm for like a half hour, maybe 20 minutes. You gotta throw them away and get a new one. We had a box of them, just a case of them that we bought and we kept in our garage, and we'd come and take them if we were going somewhere, stick them in. Those could go right against your skin. They only warmed up a little, but they didn't really get that warm. They got a little bit and they're fine. On a cool day, you're fine. If it's a ice cold day like tonight, last night, I think it was like 18 degrees outside, you're not gonna do anything with that. This is what you want for that. So if you're going to, and those other ones, you stick in the microwave and you microwave them for like 30 seconds or whatever, and then you take them out and you put them in. It's don't worry about those things. You get, and I charge it when it's charging. It does not get warm at all. I had both of them. I didn't trust them. Anything that gets warm, I don't trust. I plugged it in. I sat right next to it while it charged, and it didn't get warm while it was charging. So that's good. And now I can understand both of them. They were fine. So now I know, okay, yeah, you can plug these in. They won't get too warm while they're charging, which is the dangers. You hear about things. People, they plug in electronics, they explode or whatever. These are fine. They work just fine. There are a lot of brands doing this. I don't know which brands are best, but I know that the brand that sent this to me is very good. So they have a link that they've sent me. I'm going to share that with you. Go pick them up. If you are one of those people who always has cold hands, but you'd like to get outside and paint a little bit, like me, my hands, they are always cold. I don't know why they're always cold, because I have great circulation. Everything's wonderful. But no, they get cold, so I like to keep these in my pockets, and I'm used to when I was up in Pennsylvania, and you wake up and there'd just be like a sheet of ice across your car. You'd have to hit it and crack it, and the whole sheet falls off. It was winter like 10 months out of the year up there, I tell you what. But I wish I had these then. I wish I knew about them. I wish they invented them then. I don't know if they did. They probably could have. Like I said, these are probably like 20 years old. Everybody has them already. I've just discovered them for the first time, but I think they're great. Okay, we'll get back to the other recording now because I think I'm done here. That was number 1. I've got to show you number 2 because something else was sent to me that I want to show you that I will be using in these upcoming videos. And that is, this is an easel from Craft Geek. Now, I'm going to show you how it sets up so that you can see it, but I hate tripod easels. Absolutely cannot stand them. I've had metal ones. I've had the plastic ones that kind of fold out like you're going to put your camera on top of it, like a regular tripod. I've had a bunch of different ones. I hate them. This one I do not hate. I took it outside, made sure that it actually worked the way that I wanted it to. But also, you can use it right here on your desk. Just use it as a studio easel as well. Let me show you this thing. Now, the nice people over here at Craft Geek, they said to me, look, we're going to send this to you. We don't care what you say about it. We don't care if you just show it in a video that you've opened it or and you're using it. We don't care if you do whatever. They did not require me to even do like a separate showcase of it. The only thing they asked me to do is tell you this is one thing that they said. One thing we would like you to share with your audience is that these are available on Blick, both in the regular stores and online. They did ask me to say that in the email, and I said absolutely. That's not a problem. That's not like you're sending it to me for a positive review. I can say, hey, this is where it's available. That's the point of this. So originally I was going to say no. I don't want to review this. I'm sending it back to you. I don't want it because I don't like tripod easels. However, finally, we have a company that got some things right. Let me show you. So first, it's actually pretty small. This will fit inside my backpack. So that's fairly small. So if you don't want to carry an extra thing, and it's compact and flat and nice. I do. It's solid. You can definitely level someone with this. They don't do that, but you could. Also, the legs, when they fold out, they're not flimsy. They're actually very stiff. And that thing that comes out right there, this bar right here is hefty. So if you're worried about, oh, maybe it's going to blow away, whatever, you put that bungee on here with a little bit of weight on it, and it'll just hold it right down. This thing is solid metal. It's not flimsy at all. The legs, you just turn and pull. You can lock them back at whatever side you want. So you turn them over, they go back in here. So it tells you, let me see if I can show you this. So you see this thing right here, it tells you lock or unlock. So you just unlock it, it slides down, you put it back up and you lock it and it stays. But you can slide it down to whatever size you want, lock it, and then it doesn't move. Also, you see that little sliding scale there, you can see what the measurement is as it's going in and out. So you can match it up on the other legs, you know that you're going to be level at least. Or you're going to be the same. You have to then use a level to see if you're actually level. Maybe the ground's crooked, you have no idea. So then this also comes apart. And then this one would come out, and there you have your tripod. You can use this as a desk easel. I want to show you this. I'm going to move you to show you the desk easel. Well, I was definitely not prepared for this, so there are some things that I have on my desk. There's a little bit of a mess. Don't worry about it. Here's the thing. These things flip out, which means if you're a watercolor artist, you put something on here. This can drip, if you're outside, this can drip down. So you're going to put water up here, it's going to drip down and go right past this. It's not going to build up in a little tray or anything like that. That's actually nice. As a watercolorist, I can tell you sometimes I want to do that. And because you can set these however you want, you can make it a little bit more forward leaning. So if you're outside, you can make it a little bit more forward leaning. That way, when you put the water down, if you're doing a lot of wet into wet washes and things, you want that water to flow, you can let it just drip straight down the page. It'll just fall off. Wonderful. Second thing I want to show you. Okay, so let's say you have something very big here. Let me see if I can show you the whole thing here. Just a decent sized canvas. What size is this? It's a 16 by 20 canvas, and it's sitting on the bottom here. Usually, you would take this side here, so you'd unscrew the back, and this whole thing here comes up to accommodate for the canvas. Normally, you would do that, then you'd slide this down and tighten it. You don't actually do that with this one. You slide it all the way down and tighten it. That's not what you do. Let me show you what you do. So for this one, you slide this down below where the canvas would sit. So you see the canvas would sit about there. You slide it a little bit lower, and then you tighten it down on the back. Then this thing stretches with a band. There's some kind of spring in there or something. So then you come up over the top and just drop it on. And it's tight, so you know no more. You just have to lift up, pull it out, or lift up and put it in. Very nice. I enjoy that about it because you don't have to sit there and clamp it down and push it down. I think that's a very good design. Now the other thing I like about it is that it's flat. So this here, do you see that? My wife likes the New Kids on the Block. You know that. Get your eyes down from here. I can already hear you saying, but I want to use my sketchbook when I go outside. I wouldn't use this. Well, let me show you what I do. This is what I do. You do what you want. So there's these clips. I bought these years ago. I don't even know what they're called. They kind of move, so you can clip it like any width. Very nice. They're available everywhere. You go Home Depot, Lowe's, all those places. They are available everywhere. Anyway, you take it because this is flat. You just have to figure out what size you need to go to. So you clip it on there. You clip it on the side that you're not using or the side you are using, however you want to do that. But it clips flat, and there you go. It's right to it, and it's flat. It has a center support. So if you're over to one side, it's fine. If you're right in the middle, it's fine. You could do a 2-page spread because it won't buckle in the middle, even with a coil. The coil will at least rest up against this. That way it does not bend in the middle. You can use a soft book because it won't bend in the middle. So it's not just the 2, it's actually 3 plus the back one. I like when things are easy to use. And I also did tell you that you could use the things here. There is a little hook here that you can also put a bungee on. Can you see that? Can you see the hook? Is any of this in focus? I hope so. Anyway, there's a hook on the back right on the center arm as well that you can hang something from. So the thing is solid. It's a great thing, and I enjoy it. That's why I'm showing it to you. Normally, like I said, hate tripod easels. Absolutely hate them. I have one other one that I kept that on occasion I'll put a whiteboard on just to do some little things, but I absolutely hate them. Not this one. This one is solid. It's nice. It's beefy, and that's what I like about it. It's a beefy thing. So I want you to see when I go outside and I'm painting, this is what I'm going to be using, and I'll explain it again. I'll just show little things. I'm not going to go through this whole thing every video. I'm just going to show you, okay, I'm using this thing. It was in that video. If you want to see some details, I'll show you a couple while I'm using it. But I want to go outside, use this. I will use my hand warmers, and sometimes I will be outside at night because I'm going to try and record some night things. I get home from work, like I said, on the drive home, it's the sunset. So by the time I get home, the lights are down. I have this little Alonzi light that I put on top of the camera there, and it's bright. I sometimes make it a blue light. I stick over. Anyway, it'll just do regular white light, and you can stick it on there, and I'm going to use that as well. On top of that, I just wanted to mention also, this has a quarter 20 on top there. So if you want to set this thing up, if you are a YouTuber or you like to record yourself doing things, you can either set it up facing away from you, put a camera up there, set it up away from you, and now it doesn't have, let me just explain this. It has the female end here, so you'd have to get the male end that you put on with another male end attachment on it, which I have those, and then you put the camera on, or you put your mount on, or whatever you put your camera on, and you can either face it away from you, that way you can take a picture or look at or a video of what you're actually painting while you're painting it, or you can have it flipped around on you and have it recording you while you paint. Of course, you're not seeing the piece itself, but you can do that. It's just another thing you can do. Here's what I do with the palette. This is just me. You do whatever you want to do. I have my book open. I have these little magnet clips that I put on here, and I'll put it like that. No, it goes this way. And then I'll attach my palette to it while I'm painting. Now, not if I'm painting on this page, just if I'm painting on this page. If I paint on this page, I'll put it over here. And I'll do that and clip my palette to it and let it hang open, and then I just paint off of that palette. That's how I do it. You don't have to do that. It's just one thing you can do. Now, on a side note, this is a long video. In a side note, side rant here, you may notice a little bit of redness on the top of my eyelid there. I had the little teledoc thing, and you talk to them, and they're like, what's wrong with your eye? Is it hurt? Is it burned? Like, no, it's not my eye. It's my eyelid. What's happening? Turns out I have like an ingrown eyelash, like something no one has ever heard of before. No doctor has ever. They're like, I don't know what this is. I'm not really sure. That's what my tombstone's gonna say. As a matter of fact, it's gonna say we have no idea what happened. We've never seen this before. That's what's gonna happen. That always happens to me. I go to the doctor. I'm like, I have this weird pain. It's like this. They're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. We've done every test. We don't see anything. Okay, it's fine, but no, I feel it. I'm in pain, so that's fine. They don't care. It's fine. Don't worry about that. So you have learned nothing today because I haven't actually done anything yet, but I am going to. This has been a crazy time of year, and there's a lot of things I've had to do. So this painting in this video is just going to be a chill session. I'm just going to paint. I'm going to stay calm, relax. We're going to talk about some stuff. I'm just going to talk to you about a couple of things, how the channel's been going. There's 4 years now. 4 years I've been on YouTube, thanks to you. That's a big thank you to you. So let's see where I am. All right, let's get into it. So I don't know what happened exactly, but the exposure kept changing on the camera. I did not lock it. It's user error. I know what happened. It looked like I'm being abducted by aliens. There's all this like flashing. My head gets really bright and then goes back down, then gets really bright and goes back. Don't worry, that's just me being dumb and not understanding how things work. That happens all the time with me, so don't worry about that. I also wanted to mention in here you're going to see There's a Noodler's ink that I'm going to use in here. It's the Noodler's Polar Black. I do use it on this drawing. I put it in a brush pen. It's in a brush pen, not a regular pen. And because any pen that I've ever put it in, it jams it up, gums it up, and then I can never use the pen again. I try to clean it out. I soak it. I do everything to it. I put the pen cleaner. I soak it in warm water. The whole never gets back to normal. So I've ruined like 3 pens with this ink. I like it because of how flat it looks and how dark it looks, but quite honestly, it's not worth it. So now I just use it in the brush pens because those don't clog up the same way. You can basically use India ink in there with the pigment ink in there, and they work fine. So they definitely work with this one just fine. But it is one of those things that I love the ink itself, but I will never use it in a fountain pen. I just won't do it. Even though it says, oh, this will make your fountain pen work better with the more you use it. No, it does not. They're lying about that. It absolutely doesn't. It's the worst ink for a fountain pen I've ever seen. That calls itself fountain pen ink anyway. All right, let's see. I wanted to talk about a couple things here. So I just want to say that the end of 2024 has been a whirlwind for me. So today I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to chat with you for a little bit. I'm going to create something. What I wanted to do here is just to connect the 2 pages together. I first started at the edge and I said, well, let me see if I could just move this little section over. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to move the whole thing over. I want to take this and make it look like one painting, like it was supposed to be one painting. So that's what I'm doing. And this side, the other side there, the right side is going to be completely abstract. It's not going to look like anything. But hopefully it will work well together with the other side. The first thing I need to talk about today is that all of you just blew me away. I want to thank everyone who showed up to help me. I didn't ask directly for it, but I was just talking about wanting to get a new camera and what I could do with it and maybe up the channel a little bit, get a second camera angle, maybe a different look. Everyone was extremely generous to me. I got some new patrons that signed up. Everyone used my affiliate links more on Amazon and Meetin. Someone bought hundreds of dollars of my art from the website. Thank you so much for that. Some people seem to have put my videos on like the playlists or whatever and just put it on and walked out of the room. I don't even know if that happened, but that's what it seemed like. It seemed like a lot of playlists were hit that weren't before. Of course, that pushes the ad revenue up for me. Someone sent me PayPal donations. As a matter of fact, a couple of you sent me PayPal donations. Thank you so much. I'm blown away. And so I've been able to, I thought it was going to take me like 6 months to a year to get this second camera. I was just talking about it. And I was able to purchase the second camera. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate everyone doing this. I hope that I can at least make good on some of those ideas and give you a little bit of benefit for something that you did. So I hope that I can do that. Just give me a little bit of time to figure it out maybe, because it will take me some time to figure. It's a new camera. There's a lot of technology in there that I can't figure out. I sometimes have some problems with that. Don't worry about that. But I did want to talk to you about that. I just want to mention that first because I am very grateful. How everyone did that so quickly. It wasn't that long ago that I even mentioned it, and now all of a sudden here it is. You're all wonderful. I do appreciate that. So next I want to talk about how the channel kind of happened. So the first year, I've been 4 years now on YouTube. The first year I had maybe, I think it was like 500 subs, and then the second year I hit the 1,000 mark, maybe a little bit over, but it was around there, the 1,000 mark. Then it was the third year I was at 2,000, and this is the end of the 4th year, and I'm at about 4,500, 4,600. So thank you so much for that. Those are big jumps. It's doubling every year, which is wonderful. I don't know if I can keep that up. I don't know if they'll let me keep that up. Not if they know what's good for them, they won't. But I guess I'm hoping that it does. Maybe I can keep going, and maybe I'll have like 9,000 or 10,000 by the end of next year. It was wonderful. I didn't think that this was going to go this far already. So as far as it is, I'm happy. I'm doing well, and I appreciate it. And it's because of all of you getting involved. You're all involved with me. So That's your victory just as much as it is mine. Now, I also want to bring up, I have an idea. I was going to start a new channel for those Twisted Sense tales because I never really figure out how to put them in, but I actually figured out a whole new format for them. I'm going to have a video soon with these Twisted Sense tales on it, where if you've never heard of them before, it's just me doing a painting in the background, and then I take you on this weird kind of free mind thought process of just me telling you a story that has nothing to do with anything. I change direction constantly. But I try and always bring it together at the end, and that's what I try and do. And I was gonna originally, and you'll see in that video, I was gonna try and do like a second video immediately after that explained where I think I got the idea from the first video. So I talk about a bunch of random things, but somehow it's a story. And then I go back through my mind after I complete the story itself and after I just ramble on and tell you the whole thing. Because it's not written down, it's not scripted or something like that. It's just me just kind of talking. And there's a couple of empty spots that you don't see because I do trim those out. But for the most part, it's just like a stream of consciousness kind of story. And I ramble on. But I wanted to also then go back and say, where do I think that story even came from out of my head? What possible memory could have happened that gave me that idea? So I did that. I started to record them. I had 3 on the channel. I recorded those 3, and then I have a couple more. I was going to start a completely different channel, like I said. But I think I just want to put it on this channel as a separate thing, as a just kind of a separate section or whatever you want to call it that I do in the videos. Maybe it'll be a Thursday video, maybe it'll be a Monday video, I have no idea. But so it'll be, you'll see the painting, I'll do a little intro, very short, maybe a couple second intro, and then do the full painting with the story, and then at the end we'll have something called the after party where I'll go through everything and kind of explain where I think it came from. If you think that's a good idea, and let me know. Maybe I should put it on a completely different channel and do it that way, because I have some ideas for channels. We'll talk about that too. But I would rather keep it on this channel because it is art. There is art there, and there's just a story in the background talking about it. Maybe I'll make that the podcast version or section of the channel. That way it'll be separated as a podcast. It'll be listed that way, and then maybe... because you don't actually have to watch that. You don't have to watch me do the painting to get the story. The story completely different than whatever the painting is. But all of those paintings are a little strange. They're a little odd, and I do that on purpose. I try and just paint something a little off the beaten path there. This one could have been a Twisted Sense tale. The way that this turned out at the end, it could have been. It definitely could have been. But I didn't do that. But I could have, and that's the kind of thing I do. It's always something a little bit strange that I do, aside from my regular strange things that I do, so how about that? But let me know. Do you want a separate channel for that? Or maybe just as a podcast or a separate section of the channel? Leave it on this channel. Just let me know what you think. Another possible new channel option, and this is for people trying to navigate YouTube and random life experiences and just other things, and it was going to have, so it will be a completely different channel than this one. This is always going to be my main channel, by the way. It doesn't matter what other channel I come up with or do. This one will always have that Monday video every single week. I'm not going to stop doing that. I haven't missed an upload for 4 years. I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but I don't plan on it. But have another channel that does not, and the second channel will never have a steady upload schedule. That'll just be something that I do when I have extra time. That's all that is. But I think I can do like a separate, just a behind the scenes, like what's happening on YouTube, how I'm doing with it, what's some things that are implemented, some things that I hear that you should do, that I've tried that either work or don't work, camera gear, how to set up a view of the overhead or talking head, or different camera you can use, or the easiest camera to use, or things like that. So that'll be a separate channel if I do something like that. I may do that. I'm not sure. Let me know if that's something you would like to see. If you want to just see something completely different, I may start another channel where I just rant about a bunch of other subjects that are not related to this stuff, which I do now, so I don't know how it's really different, but there won't be any art on it, that's all. I also, on this channel, I have an idea for a few skits. I keep talking about them. I do not want to overhype them. They're probably going to suck. They're not going to be as good as I think they are, but I have some skits that are written down that I want to go forward. I think they're funny. They're going to be about art. They're going to be on this channel. I think they're good, but you will hopefully see them this coming year. I'm hopefully going to get the time to record them. One, I have to go to a completely different facility. The other one will be usually probably done in my home, I'm guessing. I say usual like I've done it before. It'll probably be done in my home somewhere, because it's more of like a home type setting. But the other one, I'm going to go somewhere and do this skit, and it's going to be like in an office setting, and you'll see. It's going to be interesting, or at least I think it's interesting, but hopefully I'm not overhyping it and making you think, oh great, this is going to be a wonderful thing, and then it comes out and it's terrible. So I hope that doesn't happen. I had another idea for another channel. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of these videos like partially recorded, but I don't want to. I'm thinking I don't have enough time for this kind of channel. It's kind of like an analog horror channel. So it's a, just to explain what that is, it's basically these little short clips. Some of them are a little bit longer. It could be longer clips too. And there are like clues hidden inside, and you have to figure out what the story is. What is the story about this thing? And it's usually something a little bit disturbing. It's not like horror, like jump scares and that kind of stuff. It's like a psycho thriller, like a psychological thriller, like that kind of thing, where you just, you see this picture and it's someone doing something, and then somewhere in there is like a secret message or a code that you have to look up and figure out. And sometimes in the description there'll be like different things, like a different code or something that points you to another video that's in a different section that's not available on the regular channel. Anyway, I started doing some of these. I have an amazing idea for it. At least I think it is. It was extremely fun to start doing some of these, but they never really materialized. I never really finish the videos because I never had the time to do them. So I'm thinking, even though I would love to do that, I am thinking that I can't do that kind of a channel until I'm done with YouTube. I mean, not done with YouTube, until I'm done with my job. And maybe I'm only doing YouTube or something like that. Or I'm doing very little. I can maybe make enough money on YouTube where I step back a little bit and I do something to the side. That's going to take a long time. I'm telling you, you do not make a lot of money here. It just doesn't happen. It's not a thing. People who make a lot of money here are usually people who are, I'm not going to say that they're lying to you, because that's not true. They're sponsored. They, like, every video they put up, they're getting like $1,000 from a sponsor or whatever. But that's different. That's completely not where I am. Those people have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, or sometimes 100,000 subscribers or whatever. I don't have anything close to that. Maybe they have 50,000. I'm not there yet. I'm not planning on being there for a long time. So that'll be a while. But this idea that I have, I think will be very interesting. And like I said, I already have several scripts written. I think I have like 5 or 6 videos written out, the scripts of them. And the difference with these types of channels is they usually post a video like once a month. Sometimes it's longer. Sometimes it goes like 6 months they don't post a video. But sometimes in the beginning they have a couple that they run forward with. So until I can do something like that, I don't think I can do it. Maybe I could work on it a little bit on the side, but if I have a second channel already talking about other stuff, I probably won't have time to. So I don't know when I'll get time to do that. But if you think that's a good idea, please let me know, because that's something I may still work on in the background. I have so many ideas. I have very little time to execute any of them. It is extremely frustrating for me, but one day I'm gonna get there. One day I will get to the point where I can do all these ideas that I have and get them out here and hopefully entertain you. That's the whole point. I want to have fun doing it, but I want you to have fun watching it. So That's really the main point. It is frustrating though. I'll get there. The other thing I just want to mention, I've been doing a lot of giveaways lately, and a lot of product demonstrations and things like that. But I'm not. Listen, you don't know who I am. You have no idea. If you're new to the channel and you've not seen me for very long, you don't know anything about me. I'm not expecting you to trust me if you don't want to trust me. You have to keep that in mind. Everything is on you. You need to discriminate against who you listen to, and I don't mean that in the modern sense of the word. I mean that in the actual sense of the word. A discrimination is just simply saying, I like this and I don't like this. That's all a discrimination is. So you need to discriminate against who you're listening to. If you don't trust someone, don't trust them. That's okay. You have every right to not trust me here on YouTube. But I promise you, I will tell you this again. You don't have to trust me. And the people that know me have been around for a little while know this. I'm telling you how I like something. I'm telling you if I like something. If it's not something I like, I will let you know that too. I've done that with 2 brush companies so far. And one of them is a company, both of them are companies that I love other products of theirs. But I do not like these particular watercolor brushes. I did one with the Meaden. I did one with the Golden Maple. I don't like their watercolor brushes. They're not for me. And I told you that when I was showing it to you. But if it's something that I can, I will try and give it away as well. I'm trying to do that because I want you to benefit from this channel any way that you can. So I want to say, hey, look, anytime a company lets me know, hey, maybe we can do something, let me see if I can give a set away. Can we do that? And if they agree to that, yeah, I'll review it for you. Nobody is telling me what to say, except for the one that you already saw, the one that in this video, where they just asked me to say, hey, can you just tell them where it's available? That's fine. I have no problem saying that. Or I've had companies say, hey, can you just mention that we're on Instagram and see if they'll follow us on Instagram? It's not a necessity or a requirement, but I have no problem mentioning it to you. If you want to know where to find a Meaden or a Golden Maple or wherever, you want to find them on Instagram, yeah, I'll let you know where to find them. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But nothing, I'm never required to give any kind of a positive review. That has been tried. I've had several companies ask me for that. None of them have you seen on this channel. Not one. Because of that reason. I don't want, no, I'm not going to read a script. I'm not going to tell them exactly what you want me to tell them. I may mention some things that you want me to tell them, like, oh, you want me to mention that this is polycarbonate, or you want me to mention that this is solid steel or something. I have no problem saying that. That's just giving you basic information about the product. But I will never give a positive review if I don't like the thing and I don't think it's worth your time. And I won't even put anything on the channel if I don't think it's worth your time. But if it's a bad review and I think you need to hear it because of all the other good reviews that I keep hearing about it, I will feature it on the channel and let you know that I don't like it, even though everybody else says it's wonderful. That was the Golden Maple watercolor brushes. I saw so many watercolor artists that I love to watch. And they're like, oh yeah, these are great for beginners. I'm like, no, these are not good. Don't recommend them for beginners. They do not work like sable brushes. Nothing even of the sort. And a lot of them said, hey, these are sable brushes. No, they're horsehair brushes. They're not the same thing. But the Golden Maple quill brushes I absolutely loved. I don't have a lot to compare it to. I have the one like $60, $50, $60 brush or whatever that I was sent on accident. But I don't have any quill brushes that I use, so I have no frame of reference. But I love these. They work the way that I wanted them to. They held a little bit too much water compared to what I'm used to, but that's good. They're quill brushes. They're supposed to. So I thought that they were great, but then the other brushes I thought were not great. I would not recommend them. I will do my best to tell you exactly how I feel about something. That's a promise to you. But like I said in the beginning, you do not have to trust me. If you say, I think you're full of crap, I do not trust you, I will not hold that against you. I understand that because you have no idea who you can trust. Not in this day and age when there's a lot of people saying a lot of things because they're getting paid for it. And that's the other thing. If I'm getting paid for something, of course I will tell you that. If it gets sent to me for free, of course I will tell you that. But that doesn't change anything about what I say to it. I will never say that something is good if it's not. Whether someone's paying me to or not, I will never do that. Because, and I've explained this before too, the audience, your audience, it doesn't matter what kind of channel you have or what you're doing, your audience is always more important than the product or the paycheck or anything else. Because without them, you do not have your channel. And if you lose your credibility with your audience, you're done. You might as well just hang it up. Don't worry about it. You're gone. And I don't ever want that to happen. I want you to benefit, and I want to benefit. Both of us together need to benefit from this channel. Otherwise, it's not worth doing. So I'll say it again. If you don't want to trust me, don't. I will never hold that against you. I have no problem if you do not believe me. And you have to be around here for a while before I would even expect you to even consider believing me. Because you have no idea who I am, what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. And it's important. You need to know who you're listening to. That's extremely important. I also do want to mention that I'm going to get outside a little bit more and do some more painting, like I said earlier in the video. I like doing that kind of thing, and this is the perfect time for me to get out there and do it. Sometimes if it's too cold, it's hard with the watercolor sometimes. But I am going to get out there and do some sketching while everything is calmed down and it's cooler outside and there's no bugs, there's no hot sun. I can just sit out there and just relax and just take my time. I really enjoy that. So I will be doing that, getting out there. And some of the things that I have planned are like me going and finding something interesting to look at and turning it into a painting or a drawing. I want to show you how I do that process, because a lot of people say, well, how do you do abstract art? Like plein air abstract? What is that? Well, I'm going to show you exactly what that is. I have no problem doing that. It's fun for me because it's not something I'm trying to get perfect 100% with the thing I'm looking in front of me. It's still doing it from life. You have to draw from life. You don't have to draw from life. You can draw from a photo or anything else. Oh no, when I first started doing that, it changed my life. Yeah, well, there's other people who only do that, and when they started to draw from a picture, it changed their life. It's just where you are, that's all. That's the biggest impact at the time. You think all of a sudden everybody has to do it. It's a lie. Don't believe everybody every time they say stuff like that. You do what you want to do. But I am going to show you how to go outside and find some plein air abstract art. It's very wonderful to sit outside and do that. Most of my art is from nature. Most of it. The muscle fibers or plants or animals or things. That's all the rock structures and tree roots, and I love all that stuff, and that's how I get my ideas. That's how I actually get to paint the things that I'm painting and why I decide to do them the way that I do. So I want to show you how I do that. I'm going to get out there. I will record myself doing some of that stuff. Hopefully it's enjoyable. I really do hope you enjoy it. So we'll see. Let me know if you think you will. I'm going to try and do that pretty quickly and just get out there before it gets, I don't want it to be like February and it's real, like, below freezing outside. The other day it was 18. Last night 18 degrees, 18 years old. Yeah, last night was 18 years old, just in case you were wondering. It was 18 degrees outside, and it was just too cold to go out there and do anything, so I didn't do that. But I want to be out there when it's a little cold. That I don't mind. And I did take, just matter of fact, today, no, not today, yesterday, we went to go see Christmas lights, and we went to walk around this wonderful area where they set it up. I think it's at like an ecological site or something like that, and they set up all these lights and scenes and the elf and the, Rudolph and all this stuff, and they set all these areas up absolutely beautiful. And I had those hand warmers in my hand. As a matter of fact, my sister-in-law said, "Where did you get these?" And I said, "Oh, they were sent to me." She said, "Well, send them to me." So we're going to have to do that for Christmas, maybe, depending. I don't know. If this video comes out before Christmas, we didn't do that. If it comes out after Christmas, she'll know if we did or not. We also had a craft fair. We just did 2 craft fairs, as a matter of fact, and we did very well at them. My wife put a lot of hard work into her wood stuff that she's doing, and all the woodworking and laser cutting and all the stuff she was painting and gluing and all that stuff. And we did extremely well. It was a wonderful experience that we had. Usually we don't do this well. I've never done anything this well at a craft fair. It was really good. We're excited to do it, and we're going to be excited to do it again next year. But we're going to do things a little differently, though. This was the first time we did a craft fair with her stuff, this wood stuff. She used to do the vinyl lettering on tile. We've done that one. But this one was a little different, and she did very well putting everything together, getting everything set up, and of course I helped her with everything. But it was all her vision. The whole thing was her vision. She's like, I want this here, I want that there, I want that there, and I helped her set everything up. And she had a very successful 2 shows. I'm very proud of her. She did wonderful. And there were some... I ran into an artist. I don't have the card on me right now, but I will feature her in another show. I'm sure I will. But I did buy something from her. She was a very good artist. Wildly underpriced, her artwork. Wildly. And she did photography and art. So she would have pictures on one thing and on one side, and then she had drawings mixed in on the other side. Very, very beautiful. And I say talented. Let me tell you something else about talented. You know, you always hear that talented is like a put down. Oh, I'm not talented, I'm skilled. But you understand they have talent contests, right? And in those talent contests are people that have practiced their skill for forever, and they compete against other people who practice different skills. It's still, just because someone says it's a talent doesn't mean you didn't have to spend a lot of time doing it and developing the skill for it. However, I also know that there are certain people who can't do certain things no matter how much time they spend on it. Like, some people can't sing for their life. They will try, they cannot hold a tune. They've taken lessons, they just cannot do it. They cannot train their voice to it. They don't have the ear for it. But that doesn't mean that someone who's a great singer didn't work their rear end off trying to sing and get that voice where it needs to be and just do all the things. It doesn't mean they didn't work hard for it. It's still a skill that they had to develop and they had to do, but it's something that they were able to do. So they were talented enough to be able to do it, but they had to work on it, and they increased their skill level to do it well. That's very similar to art. I don't care what anybody says. There are anyone can learn to draw a figure or whatever. You just follow the simple steps and you go through it. But it takes someone with a little bit of talent to get it to be more unique, to change some things, to do things the way that you want. Something that is something you feel instead of something you have to spend extra time on. There is talent in art. There are people that know color palettes instantly. They're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what colors go together, this one, this one, this one. And I'm not saying you can't teach that to someone as a skill. Of course you can. But there are some people who just do it naturally. That's a talent. And that's not a put down for that person that it is a talent. They work just as hard at their craft as anybody else. I've mentioned that 100 times. I'm going off on a completely different tangent. That was not planned here. I was just supposed to talk to you calmly, and here I am getting all worked up. Anyway, the artist is extremely talented and skilled and does a wonderful job with her art. And I did buy a piece because I absolutely loved it. It was a picture of an owl. And I love birds, I love owls, and I thought it was a good one. So I picked it up and I said, well, listen, just get in touch with me. Maybe we can, promote some stuff here. Maybe I can put your artwork up on the channel or whatever. And I would love to do that because she's a great artist. She's absolutely wonderful. And her husband makes all the frames for her work. So makes all like the wood frames. He does that. So it looks really nice. He did great work. And she does beautiful artwork. So mostly like pencil sketching. Mostly pen sketching. Some ink work, I think I saw. But very monotone, the graphite and the values are there, but just very... And she does things a little bit unique. She does her style. We had a quick conversation about her style where she said, yeah, people keep telling me that I should do it this way, but I like to do it this way. I said, no, do it your way. I like it your way. You do it the way that you want to do it. You'll find the people that connect with you. That's the thing. So I will, I'll get a video about some of her work, and I do have one of the samples that I will show you of her work because I did pick it up. Like I said, wildly underpriced. She needs to raise those prices because she spends a lot of time on them. It doesn't matter if it's a pencil sketch or a pen sketch or anything else. I know she spends a lot of time on it because I know how long that would take me to do. It would just be ridiculous. So, and I'll tell you something else about being ridiculous. These people popping up on the screen right here, they are ridiculously wonderful. They always help me. They always support me, just like all of you. You're all wonderful. I love all of you so much, and I would like you to thumb up the video if you can at least answer any of the questions I've asked you. Please go down below and say, hey, yeah, I think this is a good idea, or no, I think that's not a good idea. Maybe you should do something different, or whatever. Just let me know. I probably will never listen to you, but I may. I listen to you. Listen, I listen to everything that everybody says to me. I always consider it, just because I may not do it immediately, or I may not do it ever, but that doesn't mean that I'm not listening. It's just whether I want to do it or not, or whether I think I can do it, or whether it's a good idea for the whole audience, or whatever. I always listen, always. So just pour your heart out with all your suggestions and things that you think. I have no problem with that. Tell me that I suck. It's fine with me. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. You can say, oh, that kind of is ugly. I don't even like that. That's fine. I don't mind it at all. Don't worry about it. All right. If you would like to join our community, go to illustrationsbypete.com. You can come in. You can put your own artwork on the site and promote it. You can find some inspiration in the free reference photos. You can just use them however you want in your artwork. You do not need to credit me. Or you can come into the forums and talk to some people and maybe give some advice and maybe find a little bit of information that helps you. So come check us out. All right, that's about it for me. I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.